Just getting ready, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I've organised this live literally 10 minutes ago. So I'm going to make a couple of cards. I'll just give it a few more seconds till my laptop catches up. Excuse me. Just waiting on the laptop catching up. There we go, and I need to mute the sound. Lovely. Now I can see any comments. So, is anyone on? Not yet. Let me see how the lighting's going to go. Hang on, I've got a notification on my phone. I did put it on no notifications, but never mind. Right. Come on, mute please. Right, we've got one person on, if you're there. Hi. Right, I'm just going to start. So, what we're going to do is we are going to recreate this card, which is using the annual catalogue item. And this is out the annual catalogue, and it's called Lots of Cheer. So, I'll just give it another little minute. Da, 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 da. My husband forgot his electric cigarette there. Honestly, you can't get 5 minutes peace. Right, we're going to recreate this card, and it's called Lots of Cheer, and it's out of the annual catalogue. So we're going to create a border here on the Whisper White. We're laying it up onto Coastal Cabana card. Also stamping in some balmy blue as well. And I don't know if you can see the little embellishments. The little new snowflakes. So I'm just going to go ahead. Now I've already prepared. We have an inside piece on this card as well. So if I pop that to the side, what I will say is I'm going to actually use two little stamps out of the Merry Moose, which is this one. So I'm using the little star and the little bauble. So I have everything already in my blocks. Okay, so I'm just going to open my blinds slightly because it is a bit dark in my house just now. Of course, the autumn's coming in finally. Right, I'm just going to pop this stamp set to the side. So, let me get the light right. That's a bit better. Now, I've pre-cut everything. Okay, so I have a card base which measures 4 1/8 of an inch by 5 3/4. The stamping layer is roughly 1/8 of an inch smaller, so that's 4 by 5 5/8. I'm just making sure you can see that here on this screen. Not liking the lack of light here at the minute, but hopefully you can see it okay. Right, so if I put the card base to the side, what we're going to do is we're going to start stamping this lovely border round the back. Okay, so if I open my Coastal Cabana, like so, we're making 2 cards, so this might be about half an hour. So if you are in the middle of prepping your dinner, I do apologise. A little bit fluff on my ink pad. There we go. So we've got Balmy Blue and Coastal Cabana, and that's the colour theme of the cards that I'm going to make on this live. Right, so what we're going to do, we've got Happiest Christmas Wishes, which is out of the Lots of Cheer set. We have Joyful Season, and we have Lots of Cheer and Christmas, Lots of Cheer at Christmas and Always stamp. So these are going to be the borders, and then we're going to infill with a little bobble. It looks like it can look like a little what do you call it, Christmas pudding as well. And the little star, those are out of the Merry Moose stamp set, which is this one. Right, so I've got my sample card off to the side. Now I need to just straighten this slightly, ever so slightly, okay? And I need to make sure that I stay in the centre here. So I'm going to push my inks away a little bit. So first of all, I'm stamping Happiest Christmas Wishes, and this is going to go along the top side of the card, top left corner, and in the same Coastal Cabana top bottom right corner, like so. Now I do have my Stampin' Scrub off to the side there. Okay, now the next stamp, and we're going to do it in the Balmy Blue, is Joyful Season. So if you turn your card slightly, ink up your stamp and place that as straight as you can. Let's flip it all the way around and do it on the opposite corner, like so. There we go. And that is that one done. The third sentiment we're going to put on is Lots of Cheer at Christmas and Always. So I'm going from Balmy Blue back to Coastal Cabana now. Okay, so I want to put that in the middle here, in this white space. And I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. And then we're going to infill the gaps with the little stamps from our Merry Moose set. So here we have, can you see that okay, the little bobble? So, we'll start with the Balmy Blue. Now this card, it goes up and down, so I am going to just stamp that slightly squint, like so. Okay, and I'm going to make sure these are the right way facing up, sorry. Because like I say, our card's going to be like that. Right, on to the Coastal Cabana now. Just going to stamp one in here. And this is a great way of creating your own kind of background and creating your own border. Now the centre piece does go off to an angle, so we need to put a little star here and a little star there, and in the opposite corners. So let's do that then now. And it's just to fill in some little space. So I'm stamping there and there in the Coastal Cabana, and then I'll do the opposite corners with the Balmy Blue. Adorable. See how easy that is. Pretty, pretty, pretty. There, that's a bit better light. That's better. And right, so what I want to do is I'm going to layer this up onto my Coastal Cabana card, and these kind of colours, the I would call them not Mediterranean type colours, but they remind me of the sea and sea fishes and things like that, sea life, and the beach. That's what it remembers me of. These are a good in colour at the minute. People seem to be going daft for Christmas cards in these colours. I don't know if it's because they're just so much more fun than the traditional. I like the traditional too, of course. Right, so this is our centre piece, which is going to go off at an angle there. Okay, now you'll see I want to leave just enough room to see those 4 little stars that I stamped on there. So I'm just going to attach this on my card just now. Okay, and you want to try and centre it the best you can, like so. So I'll pop that to the side. Now we want to stamp our main part, the top layer. So I'm just going to get a piece of copy paper, and we're going to stamp the snowman image here. And basically this is a tower of presents, and the graphics on it make it look like a snowman. So I have this already on this stamp, and I'm going to stamp this in balmy blue. So I'm just going to take the pad to the stamp this time. Make sure there's plenty of ink. Okay, and we're just going to centre that towards the bottom, like so. Easy peasy. Nice, simple, easy Christmas card. Okay, so there is our main image, and what I need to do now is stamp some more of the little 5-point stars. See that there? And I'm just going to second generation stamp each one, just to get different shades, and I'll show you that closer so you can see how you're getting the darker and the lighter shade. And I'm just going to alternate between the balmy blue, whoops, stuck to that there, between the balmy blue and the Coastal Cabana. Now what I will see is the first generation stamping, those are the little images that we're going to attach the star sequins onto. And this is from the snowflakes sequins. I'll show you them closer up when we're ready to attach them. So that is our centrepiece for our card. Nice and simple. And that is going to be adhered on there. Now, you can add ribbon on here or other types of embellishments, but I personally like to keep my Christmas cards as flat as possible, mainly due to the postal cost factor. Okay, so these are the sequins. Now what I'm going to do is get a piece of coloured card, if I can find a piece. Hang on a second. Let's see if I've got a scrap piece of black, because that will show off the sequins better. So let me spread these out to let you see them. They really do stick to your fingers, so be careful. Come on, get off, you wee monkeys. But you know what sequins are like, they're so staticky. Right, come on, off. So these are the little stars that we're going to touch on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of these darker stars. So what I want to do is I want to just place near where I want to adhere them down. Okay, now sometimes there's a couple of sequins that may stick together. Look at that there, I got 3 out of that one. So do double check. Because if there's more than one sequin stuck, the top one may fall off. So 1, 2, 3, 4, one more now, and then I'll pop these back in like so. And of course, if you wish to use the other sequins, please do. Those little snowflakes in this set go amazing on coloured background. They really make the card pop. Right, I've got everything off of my fingers now. Now these are a little too dainty for using, what do you call them, glue dots. So what I do, oh my chair's squeaking, what I like to do is just put a little bit of Tombow glue and then just manipulate them into place using the pointed bit of my Take Your Pick, which is a real godsend. And I'm just turning the sequin round so that it's pointing the same way as the stamped image. And I'm going to repeat that for the other ones, and then I'll let you see. Okay, now this can be footery, so do use your pick tool if you have it. Hang on a second, listen's just come in. Mackenzie, yeah. I'm doing a live, so you can't come in the now. So let's just keep continuing. He's just popped in for a wee drink or something. Right, so if I just keep doing this, like so. One more to do, I think. Oh, this wee bugger's moved. Lovely. So I don't think I have anyone watching because like I say, I organised this last minute, but you know what, it's given me practice because I would like to do these more. So I've went through the process of pre-cutting, having everything to hand, etc. And there is oh, we've got one person on, hello. There is our first Christmas card, so that is a case of this one, but slightly different. I think I will add some Wink of Stella though, and what I'll do is I'll just add it to the bottom present. And I'm not even squeezing this, it's just falling off of the brush nib. Right, can you see that? Slightly. And I'll put some on his hat. Like so. Adorable. Let's put some on his scarf as well, actually. Now, if you wanted, you could colour this with your stamping blends or watercolour pencils or whatever you have. But for the live, I'm just wanting to keep it as simple as I can. So that is our first card, using lots of cheer and a couple little cheeky stamps out of the Merry Moose. So I'm just going to take a wee second, pop them to the side. I'm just going to remove all the stamps from my blocks before we move on to card number 2. Card number 2 is using Playful penguins. Adorable little set. Okay, so if you're watching, don't be shy, say hi. What am I like? Right, so just time for tidying up in preparation for card number 2. And we're using the exact same colour scheme, the Coastal Cabana and the Balmy Blue. Sticky, sticky. I love these cling stamp sets, but they always seem to stick to my hands. There we go. One more stamp to go back. Okay, and there. There we go. So that is card number 1 made using lots of cheer. So that's another 2 for my pile that are going to a local charity. Right, so next card we're going to do is using Playful penguins. So this time the card is layered. Well, it's not layered, it's the card base is Whisper White, and we're going to stamp directly onto the card base, add a layer here, rough round the edges, add some ink and stamp just to give it a little rustic look. And I've added a couple of our sequins under the corners here. Okay, and these are the iridescent sequin assortment. So lots in there as well. Now I'm just going to pop this one away back into its packaging because knowing how clumsy I can be at times, I'll probably drop that and it would fly open or something. So that's that out the way. Right, now on to Playful penguins. So the stamps we're going to need are, again, we're doing the sentiments round to give it a border. We need Nothing Warms the Heart Quite Like Good Friend. Okay, so there's one. We also need Merriest Wishes. So there's 2. We need Always by Your Side, because this is a friendship Christmas card. And we need You're So Cool. You might as well, if you're using stamp sets, you need to try and make use of all of the sentiments and stuff in there. This sentiment is going to go on last. Okay, and then the penguin, I have used a little guy here, which is this one, but I'm going to change this card slightly and use this wee guy. Okay, so if I pop him on that one, and I'll pop this sentiment on this one, it's just a wee bit easier. Right, so let's get ready. Now I have again prepped all the bits, so I'm just going to move my stamps to the side now. Try and keep them out of shot. Okay, I'll move my ink slightly. Move that. My glue. Okay, so this card also measures 4.1 by 5 3/4. We don't need another layer. We do have a centerpiece layer though, like so, and we'll do that last. Okay, so if I pop that up there slightly. Right, so let's get stamping a border around here. Now on the last card I started with this sentiment, nothing warms the heart quite like a good friend. So I'm going to start in Balmy Blue. Now I need to pull this down slightly so I can lean over it a little. Sorry if my hair goes in the shot. So that's the top left corner, and I'm going to do the same in the bottom right. Okay, so that's that one done. We are then going to go on to Always by Your Side, and we're going to stamp this in the other colour, which is Coastal Cabana. So we'll flip that round, and we're going to stamp like that, turn it round, do the opposite side. Okay, like so. Now if you have a Stamparatus, this would be a perfect opportunity to get it out and get practice in. But I just don't have enough room on my desk at the minute. Okay, the third sentiment is You're So Cool, and we're doing that in Balmy Blue. So I'm just going to pop that here. Now, sometimes it's quite hard to stamp straight when you're not able to look over the actual image. Okay, so that's not so bad. Okay, last sentiment in Coastal Cabana is Merriest Wishes. That's just going to sneak in there. So flip your card round and pop it in there. Can you see that okay? Sorry about the light, and it's just not so great. So there we go. So that's the card base done. Next we move on to our centerpiece, and we are going to stamp this chap, and I think I'll stamp him in Balmy Blue, why not? Okay, so position where you want to stamp. Now I'm doing this at an angle slightly because like I say, it's quite difficult to gauge where you're stamping if you're not looking directly over it. That's not too bad. Okay, and we want to add a sentiment that says, may your New Year's dreams come true. And I'm going to do this in Coastal Cabana. I love this set, it's absolutely adorable. And that sentiment fits perfectly. Let me show you closer. At the top there. Now, I didn't tell you the measurements of this. Sorry, it's 2 6/8 by 4, and then 2 1/2 by 3 3/4. Because I wanted a slightly bigger border than 1/8 of an inch. So what we're going to do is I am going to add some ink to the edging of my stamping layer, the Whisper White one, okay, like so. Now this will become more apparent once I free the edges. Right, so if I put that to the side, and that is me finished with the inks. So, pop that like so. Right, now I'm going to do this bit first. What you want to do is you want to turn up two opposite ends. Use your bone folder or the edge of your scissors or what have you, like so. So that gives it a little curve, okay? And then we're going to add a sequence on each edge of that. Now I do want to ruffle. Just grab your scissors, but be very careful. Ruffle the edges. By ruffle I mean scrape some of the fibres away to give it a fluffy look. Don't want to overkill it on that, okay? And then this has had a wee second to dry. So what I'm going to do is just rough the edges and see how the colour's coming through a little bit better because I am scraping it. Gives it a little vintage type look. Or for this colour scheme, I think it makes it look kind of frosty, which is adorable. And then we're going to curl two opposite ends again. The same sides as this piece here. Okay, so you can see how that's going a little bit squint. Right. Now, what I want to do is I'm going to add two sequins on here just now. Because the last time I done it after sticking this on and it was a bit footery. Okay, so I'm going to use take your pick tool and pick out two green coloured ones. So there's one. There's some that look green, but when you get them out they actually have a slightly purple tinge, so make sure you're getting two that are the same. Hi Karen. I'm just on to my second card now. I'm just doing a ad hoc one with like 25 minutes notice. You know me, last minute everything. And right, I'm going to use glue dots for this one because these sequins do fit on our glue dots perfectly. So I'm just going to pop a couple of sequins onto the dots. It is cute. This is the card that we're casing. And I'll quickly show you the one we've just made, Karen, which was the Lots of Cheer card. So it's just the tutorial's all about making your own sentiment border, which is a good way to make cards if you don't actually have any Christmas DSP or DSP that matches, so it's perfect. Right, so a sequin on each of the corners, and I've already taken my scissors to this to ruffle up the edges. Okay, so we're going to stick this on now. What I'm going to do is I am going to add some Wink of Stella to this wee guy, because he's a lovely little penguin. Now just watch for some potential colour run when you do this. If your Wink of Stella pen's too wet, it may draw the colour, but it usually doesn't, but I just want to say be careful just in case it does. If you get what I mean. So, now I've missed a couple of bits on there, so I'll just colour that in. Adorable. Like so. Isn't he cute? So I'm going to adhere him onto there. Shift my sample card out the road. So pop it on. Cute. And you can see how you just see the little sequins and no more. and then that pops on there. And if you're posting it, you could quite easily just flatten it out again, but I do like that. Now these cards are nice and simple. No ribbon, just a little embellishment or so. So that, does that look straight? I think it does. So what I'm going to do, because on my other card, card number 1, I used the little snowflake sequins. I think I'll use a couple of the, that was the star sequins, sorry. I'll use some of these snowflake ones. And again, just be really careful because they're rather delicate. Right, so I'm just going to grab the sticky bit of my, take your pick, make sure there's none stuck together. Just pop them on the card. You could, if you wanted, you could actually colour these with your Stampin' Blends. You know what, I'm not going to use the snowflakes, I'm going to use the little metallic teeny weeny toty little sequins. I think a wee bit silver will finish the card off nice. Take your pick, must be used for this because, like I say, they're so delicate. Right, so I'm not going to do 4, I want to do 5. I like to do even numbers, odd numbers rather. God, I can't even count today. So, pop that away, and I am simply going to just add a random few dots, and I'm just going to push over my little sequins to the glue, and the glue will dry clear, but just be careful that you don't get too much on the top, or it will take its wee shine away. So that, can you see that okay? That is the little sequins. So they're adorable, the little silver ones. Now, on my last card, which is this one, these both are using the Coastal Cabana in Balmy Blue. Now, the first card I made, I forgot to put an insert in, like I did on my sample card, so I'm just going to do that quickly, and the insert is going to go across the middle this time, okay? So, in fact, I'm going to put it at the bottom, and I've left a little tiny wee border. I'm just going to pop that at the bottom, and I'm going to grab one of the sentiments and a bauble, Christmas bauble. I'm going to stamp this in Balmy Blue. I think it just finishes the card off nicely if you add a little like to part stamp. If you add a little image on the inside, I think it looks cute. Okay, one more sentiment, and then that will be us. So, again, stamping in Balmy Blue, and I'm just going to pop this in the middle, like so. That's pretty straight. Not bad for not being able to look down on it directly. And that is our 2 cards for today. So card number 1 using lots of cheer and a couple sneaky stamps out of the Merry Moose. And card number 2, I used Playful penguins, and both of them are Coastal Cabana and Balmy Blue colour themes. So I hope you've enjoyed watching it. My next live I will give maybe more than half an hour's notice, a few days hopefully, but I'm hoping to do these at least once a fortnight. So thank you so much, and thanks for coming on, Karen, and I'll speak to you soon, hun. Okay, right, I'll see you later. Thank you, bye. If I can get it off.